Welcome to Animated Apparel Company YouTube channel. I am your host, Russell Crooms, and today we're going over the history of the comic book character Bloodshot. Now, before we get into the video, I'd like to take a moment to thank our incredibly talented writer Kevin for researching and putting this video together for me. Kevin is an excellent writer. He writes most of the articles on our site, and he's a huge comic book and anime fan. So thank you so much, my friend. You're a valuable member of our team, and I could not have done this without you. So, alrighty guys, let's go ahead and get back into the video. Valiant Comics is one of the most underrated comic book companies in the whole industry, often spawning some of the most interesting characters in the industry since the early 90s, and even going as far as being one of the most commercially successful independent companies in the history of comics. Bloodshot is one of their most popular characters and the first to receive a live film adaptation. Now, before we get deep into the character's background and history, it's worth pointing out that Valiant Comics was founded by former Marvel editor-in-chief Jim Shooter, who was responsible for the company's biggest hits and quickly established Valiant by bringing on some of the talented artists and writers he helped develop back at Marvel. Now, Valiant started to create and publish multiple characters in the medium such as Exo Manowar, Shadow Man, Turok of Eternal Warrior, but one of their breakthrough characters was definitely Bloodshot, who was created by the artist of Marvel's Moon Knight, Don Perlin, and one of the artists and writers that helped define Iron Man, Bob Layton. Now, the story of Bloodshot is actually quite simple. He's a soldier that was experimented on and who developed the ability to regenerate and metamorph due to the nanites that are flowing throughout his blood. This makes him an absolute killing machine and one of the most dangerous men in the entire Valiant universe. The character first appeared in November of 1992 with a brief cameo in the comics of the Eternal Warrior, and the next week had his first full appearance in the Riot comic book. The next month, he would have the first ever Bloodshot solo title, and that is a trend that has remained throughout the years. Bloodshot is Valiant's most consistent character and has always been in the forefront of the company regardless of the difficulties the company has faced. Now, while there has been reboots and obvious reinterpretations of the character, the classic Bloodshot story is that he is a man who has forgotten who he is and who has broken free from the people that were erasing his memory and using him as a hitman. Now that he is in full control of himself, he is determined to punish crime and discover who he is, which leads to him having several different aliases such as Raymond Garrison or Angelo Martilli. There are multiple Bloodshot comic book runs to choose from if you're wanting to get into Bloodshot and get into the series, but if you want to have the best possible grasp of the character, then we recommend you read the original run with the likes of Kevin Van Hook, Don Perlin, and John Dixon, which covers 24 issues plus different appearances on titles such as Ra, Eternal Warrior, and Hardcore. If perhaps you are more into modern comics, then we recommend the most recent run with former Nightwing writer Tim Seeley and former Flash Forward and Titans artist Brett Booth, which shows the character at his best and with some of the best art that you're going to find in the industry these days. Now, of course, the character is enjoying more mainstream attention more than ever before with the Vin Diesel-led film adaptation. Personally, I can't wait to see it. So, this film was announced back in 2015, and it spearheads the Valiant cinematic universe. Now, we're yet to see how well the film is doing in the box office, regardless of the final outcome on a commercial or artistic level, much like Todd McFarlane's Spawn, who we also covered on this channel, and I'll put a link to the description of that video below as well. Now, having an independent character reach a film adaptation with an actor of Vin Diesel's caliber playing Bloodshot is nothing short of a monumental success. Bloodshot is one of the most interesting characters in the comic book industry in the last 30 years or so, and he is a very good starting point if you want to get into Valiant Comics, which is something we definitely recommend. Alright guys, now it's time to hear from you. What are your thoughts? What do you think of this video? Is there anything important about Bloodshot we may have missed? Drop a comment below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. Alrighty guys, it's been fun. See you next time, and I'm out.